In October, I took my first trip for the channel and recorded some of the best experiences I've ever had. From the behind the screen store at Universal Studios to my first ever Halloween Horror Nights, where I managed to capture my reactions, the incredible food and drink, amazing shows, ending the trip with a phenomenal tequila tasting experience over in Epcot. All these plus so many other incredible moments. And then my hard drive totally died. All that footage gone. The planning, 10 days in Orlando, hundreds of videos and terabytes of data, plus the best event and night of my theme park life all vanished. And after trying to recover the data multiple times and having quotes creep past the £1,000 mark, I had to make a choice. Keep throwing my money at a dead hard drive or choose something better, a comeback. Okay, deep breath. This is the pre-travel video for my comeback trip. 7 days of Christmas at Walt Disney World in Universal Studios, and it wasn't supposed to happen. Losing the footage from my October trip, it really knocked my confidence, and it absolutely punched my wallet right in the face. I tried everything, from software recovery to professional recovery, all the way up to data labs and clinics. I felt like I was becoming England's leading financial supporter of "we might be able to save your data." But after more quotes than my last car insurance renewal, I realised something. I could either keep paying to rescue the past, or I could choose to create something brand new, but this time better and far more festive. So here we are, a brand new Christmas trip, a super budget redemption run, and a chance to rebuild and recapture some of what I lost. But this time, bigger, better, and far more festive. Before we get into Christmas, I do need to take a moment and talk about October, because despite the disaster at the end of it, it was one of the best trips I've ever had. First up, the Behind the Screams tour. I did the free house tour, Hatchet and Chains, Demon Bounty Hunters, Dolls, Let's Play Dead, and Braver Flesh. Free, lights on, full walkthroughs. Getting to see the craftsmanship, engineering, and the sheer artistry behind Halloween Horror Night houses gave me a whole new appreciation for what goes into it. And it got me up to speed to know what to expect when the lights went out. If you love Halloween Horror Nights, this tour is gold. And honestly, it is one that I'll absolutely do again. I highly, highly recommend it. This was my first Halloween Horror Nights ever, and it has become my favourite event, period. A big shout out and thank you to creators like Dylan and Nicole from Dylan Thomas, Molly and Alan from the Mammoth Club, Tyler from the Pew 2, and Tim Tracker. I urge anyone who sees this to go and check out their videos and start following them, because they helped me plan the perfect night. And without those videos, I don't think it would have been possible. During my time at Halloween Horror Nights, I managed to do 9 of the 10 houses, even managing to do a couple of those twice. I did both the shows, Nightmare Fuel, Circus of Decay, and Hauntophonic. Nightmare Fuel, honestly, one of the best theme park shows I've ever seen. No, sorry, scratch that. Possibly one of the best shows I've ever seen. It was absolutely phenomenal. I ate a mountain load of food at the event, enjoyed several pumpkin beers, which is now one of my favourite beers of all time. The Rambling Rabbit carrot cake was absolutely divine, and I don't think I'll ever be able to eat carrot cake again that hasn't been deep fried. And of course, being a tequila lover, the Deadly Nightshade cocktail, and they were all dangerously good and the top items from the event. But Halloween Horror Nights was an event that I absolutely loved. But the big moment came starting the whole night off, and I didn't even know this existed. The day I did Halloween Horror Nights, I ended up rope dropping Universal Studios starting at 8 AM. Thanks to my express pass, as I was staying at the Hard Rock Hotel, I was able to do everything I had wanted to achieve during the day. So because of that, I ended up wandering to the first house I came across, which was Gulkin Monsters of the North. And because of that, I was told that I got to go and do a lights on walkthrough of the house alone. And my cast member guide, Kevin, and he was right on the money. Then after my lights on walkthrough, I got to experience it in its true nature, with the lights off. Also alone, my first ever house, and I got to walk through it with no one else in the house, just me and the scare actors. The actors were all fresh, every boo house was filled, and I got hit with every single scare. And then when I walked out, I was handed a certificate. It was genuinely a shocking terrifying and magical experience. And it is a moment that I will treasure forever. Then there were a couple of Disney experiences that really topped my list. First being the tequila tasting at Epcot. Truly outstanding. Christina, my ambassador, was amazing, friendly, passionate, and really knew her tequila. She made the whole experience unforgettable, and I walked away learning a lot more than I expected to, with a brand new appreciation for tequila. This was actually one of the best things I've ever done in a Disney park, and I didn't even know it was there. Then over at Hollywood Studios, I had my fantastic dining package experience at the Brown Derby. The Cobb salad there is what dreams are made of, and one of the best salads in a park. I also was able to have one of the best old fashions, top 5 of all time. These were just some of the memories, even without the footage, are still mine. They're locked away on my internal hard drive, and because of these experiences, that's why I chose this path to come back and try to capture it all again. Right, so let's talk money. One of my favourite topics when I'm not actually spending it. One of the main points of my last trip was, can I do a Disney vacation on a budget? The goal was clear. Could you do a trip for less than £2,500? Well, kind of, close enough. Over here, I will put a list of what the trip actually cost in October. So I went a little bit over budget, but it was all well worth it. And even after all that, I didn't get a complete day of the parks captured. So I had my options, with data recovery quotes coming in at over £1,000 or a do-over. So I had to make a decision, and guess what? I ended up booking another trip. This time, a Christmas trip, if it wasn't obvious. And thanks to a couple of new affiliate partners and a flight deal that felt like Santa himself got involved, the comeback begins. So here's the mission, and I'm going to call it a mission because a project just sounds like I'm going to be painting the spare room. I'm going back to Orlando for 7 days. No luxuries, no splurging, super budget, and an attempt to recapture some of what I lost. So as I said, this is going to be super budget, as my data recovery quotes were around £1,000. So £1,000 was the number I had in my head, the same amount I'd been quoted for the data recovery. But once I started adding everything up, realistically, flights, car hire, park tickets, plus Christmas events, I decided that I had to stretch this ever so slightly, and the new total budget for this trip is being set at £1,200. Still incredibly tight for a Christmas week in Orlando, but doable, maybe, hopefully. I'll tell you what, we'll see. First up, let's talk about flights. This time, I'm going to be flying with British Airways. Not because there was anything wrong with Norse Airlines, who I flew with last time, and honestly, I would fly with them again. But this time around, I have partnered with travelup.com. I've placed a link for them in the description below. Yes, I'm back with some shameless plugs, and I managed to secure a flight with them for £312. This only includes my cabin bag and a personal under-the-seat item, but that's all I'm going to need for this trip. The biggest reason I decided to fly with British Airways though was due to the earlier flight times, which I'm hoping ends up working in my favour. So now let's talk about the car. I've gone through my preferred hire company, uscarhire.com. This time I've stuck with a basic compact, nothing fancy, just 4 wheels and Apple CarPlay. This has set me back £158. My affiliate link is in the description below, along with my referral code for uscarhire.com, so you can save a little bit each day on your own car rental. So my total running cost so far for this trip is £470. Now, in the interest of fairness and complete honesty, when it comes down to accommodation, just like last time, I'm staying with family. It's a privilege I know that not everyone has, and it does save a huge amount of money. I'm not entirely sure if I was staying on site or in a hotel that this trip would be possible on this budget. So I just want to say a huge thank you to them again for putting up with me for a week and letting me stay. I'll overlay on the screen now some accommodation options for the week that I'm traveling with their prices, just so you can see what this would have set me back. And finally, no trip to the parks is complete without tickets. These are the last big pre-travel costs that I had, and this is also where things get a little interesting. So I'm never getting back what I lost in October. It's now December and spooky season is behind us, and I can never relive some of the experiences I had, but it's time to lean fully into the magic of Christmas. Firstly, let's talk about Universal. I'm only going to be on a short trip, and I have to make the most of every single opportunity, I decided to grab a one-day, two-park ticket. I did have to purchase this from a United States vendor, as single-day tickets outside of the US are hard to get. My US vendor was able to help me out a little bit on the pricing, and because of that, and because I knew I had to pay for parking, the total price for my Universal ticket is £136. So next, onto my Disney tickets. Disney at Christmas is special and expensive. In fact, Disney is pretty much expensive all the time, no matter what season you go. Just at Christmas, it happens to be more so. Epcot Festival of the Holidays, which is thankfully included in the park admission ticket, which is a big win, but the real magic begins for the two separate ticketed events. Jollywood Nights, which is held over at Hollywood Studios, and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at Magic Kingdom. And if you want to find out a little bit more about these events, you can head over to my blog where I cover these events in more detail. I've also placed direct links to the posts in the description below, or stick around and come back soon and check out my videos of the events, which I'll be posting once I'm back in the UK. Together, both party tickets set me back £254. As always, I used attractiontickets.com. They have amazing customer services, really solid pricing, often highly discounted tickets, and are one of the most trusted sellers around. I've placed my affiliate link and additional discount codes down in the description below. But what about the rest of my days at Disney? Originally on my last trip in October, I purchased a 14-day ticket, but after deciding that I was going to be returning next year in the summer for a family holiday, I upgraded that ticket to an annual Incredipass. This upgrade has already started to pay for itself with the benefits of free parking, discounts on food and merchandise, and the freedom it allows me to pop into the parks whenever I take a trip to Orlando. So that's my flights, car hire, Universal, and both Disney Christmas party tickets sorted. My total pre-travel costs have come in at £860, which means for the rest of this trip, and this is where the challenge gets tough, I have £340 or $442 to survive on for my foods, drinks, snacks, and possibly a souvenir. Definitely at least one. I'm probably looking at 30. So let's see how far I can stretch this budget. So what do I have planned? So I'm going to be traveling to Orlando on Monday, straight off my night shifts, using public transport from London to the airport, flying over to Florida, and assuming the universe is kind, I'm heading straight to Magic Kingdom for some nighttime Christmas magic. Because when I plan a comeback, I commit. I'm going to hopefully put a plan somewhere on screen, and if by magic, it's going to appear right here. But I will be rope dropping a park each and every day, staying till the park closes, getting through with no extras, no lightning lanes, just one goal in mind: budget, budget, budget. Can it be done? Stick with me through this series to find out. So here's the truth. Losing that footage really hurt. It knocked my confidence, and it made me question whether I should continue with my blog and whether this whole content creation thing was in reality just a little over my head. But then I remembered something. I'm a Disney nerd and I really love it. It's been a place full of memories and happy times for me over the decades, just like it has for so many others, and it has impacted my life in so many ways. And if my old hard drive can't handle that kind of energy, then I guess I'm just going to have to get a better one. And I've learned my lesson. Everything is being backed up twice and then backed up again, just to be safe. I've set this video to go live on the day I travel, just to make sure, because in the words of my favourite host, there's no turning back now. The next video will be my travel day, which I'm hoping turns into the ultimate sleep on a plane experience. Straight off my night shift, onto a plane to the most Christmassy place on earth. And this time, nothing is getting lost. And I hope you join me every step of the way, as together we go beyond the magic.